Welcome back to Fast RC, everybody. My name is Ryan. This week's episode, we got new releases from Traxxas, Losi, and HPI. Plus, we're going to cover the hottest sales in RC, so stick around, and I'll see you on the other side of the intro. Alright, so first up with this week's episode of RC Weekly, we need to talk about the Traxxas Mini XRT. Traxxas just announced this vehicle yesterday, and it seems like it's taking RC YouTube by storm. If you want to check it out, I got a video that I just did yesterday going over 6 key features that is new within the Mini XRT and kind of some of the differences between the Mini XRT and the Mini Max. So if you want to check that out, it's going to be popping up on your screen. But long story short, coming in at $369.99. This looks like it's going to be one heck of a winner for Traxxas. Like, I could see them selling a lot of this vehicle, being that smaller scale, that kind of 1/14th, 1/16th type scale. But with 10 scale electronics, this thing is a rocket. And from some of the videos that we're seeing from other famous RC YouTubers out there, apparently this thing is capable of doing 60 miles an hour plus, which is nuts for a small scale vehicle like that. But definitely exciting. It's nice to see new vehicles come into the RC realm, bringing new parts and new kind of spins on different vehicles. So definitely Traxxas has a winner. Check it out. Let's get to the next video. All right, and next up, and continuing on with the mini scale revolution, we need to talk about HPI's newest release that they announced yesterday, which is the 1/64th scale Nano TTR tabletop racer. It is basically a Hot Wheels, but like remote control car style. And that is honestly something that I never ever thought I would see in my lifetime, but here we are. And so I honestly, like, of all the vehicles that have been released the past couple months, I think this one gets me excited the most, especially as somebody that has a 3D printer and is printing things all the time. I could absolutely see myself building a diorama for this thing, or some type of like racetrack for it, like on a miniature scale. Super stoked. From all the videos that I've watched on it the last couple days, it looks like it handles pretty well for being as small as it is, and it actually has proportional steering, which is nice. So like, you legitimately could probably race with this thing on the tabletop. Check it out. This is honestly, in my opinion, one of the most exciting releases, and the fact that it's actually designed in-house by HPI and as a HPI release gets me even more excited about it. So check it out. I'm already excited if you can't tell. So let's go on to the next one. All right, I got one more mini vehicle to talk about, and that is the Losi Mini T 1/28th scale truggy. Saw this last week, and definitely nice to see another mini vehicle. I swear we're getting like a huge influx of mini vehicles right now, but it's cool. I like it. Obviously, like you can see behind me, I got Micro Machines van back there, so I like the miniature stuff. But definitely nice to see from Losi, coming in at $129.99. Definitely looks pretty formidable, and you can definitely tell this is a hobby grade RC, which is nice at a miniature scale. So I would imagine it's got pretty decent speed at 13 miles an hour, and it'll probably handle some abuse quite well, I would think. So that's all I got for the mini vehicles. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so we got a couple more new vehicles we need to talk about. First one is going to be from Team Associated. We got a 110 TC8 touring car team kit that was just announced last week. On-road racing's cool. I don't know much about it, but I thought the vehicle looked cool. So here we are announcing it on RC Weekly. And the next one to talk about is from Kyosho. It is the 110 Turbo Optima Mid Special Vintage Buggy Kit. Since I'm announcing buggies and truggies and stuff, I figured this fit the mold. We got a new kit from Kyosho. Let's talk about it. All right, and that's it for new vehicles. Let's get on to some products. All right, so all the products I got to announce today are from Proline. So starting off with the Micro T. I know I mispronounced it Mini T, but it's actually Micro T 1/28th. They do actually have a body from Proline for the new Micro T, coming in as a Baja buggy body, which is pretty neat. I thought it was worth mentioning. Next thing we got to announce from them is they have some Arrma 3S bash armor. So this actually came out a couple weeks ago, or at least I saw the posting for it a couple weeks ago, but I thought it was really cool. Like, if you have one of these 3S Arrma vehicles, like some of the Granites and things like that, they have this undercarriage bash armor, which looks like a molded plastic or something like that bolts to the bottom of your chassis. Thought it was really neat and kind of an interesting idea, and I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that I at least had thought of making something like that for myself with a 3D printer behind me. So it's kind of cool to see Proline actually come out with that kind of stuff. Sticking with Arrma stuff from Proline, there is a new body for the Typhon 223S. It's the tough gray body coming from Proline. Looks pretty neat. It's already pre-painted gray. Proline, I like Proline bodies. I have like a big stack of them behind me. Can't see it, but promise it's there. But that looks like it's it from Proline. All the products. So that's it for updates. Let's go ahead and talk about sales. All right, let's save some cash. So first up, we're going to talk about Horizon Hobbies again. they still have their spring sale going on, but keep in mind the sale is over on April 30th. So that is, if you're watching this, the day this comes out on April 29th, that is tomorrow, April 30th. Still have the same vehicles going on sale, so let's go ahead and run down the list and get through those. So first up, we have the Arrma Big Rock, which is a whopping $170 off from the regular price of $720. So sale price is $550. Next vehicle to talk about is the Vortex two-wheel drive, $70 off, a cheaper model coming in at $119.99, which is a great deal. Keep in mind, you can find all these sales also at Amian Hobbies or Horizon Hobbies, same thing. Next up, we got the Fury two-wheel drive, $70 to $65 off, cheapest model coming in at $119. And then we got the next vehicle, the ProMoto MX, which is on sale. Losi ProMoto MX, $50 off. Check that out. We also have the Losi RZR, which is on sale for $70 off, which is a great deal. And that's kind of the highlighted sales that I wanted to touch on. There are some other vehicles out there. There's a couple Axials you might want to check out. There's another Losi smaller 1/12 scale buggy. But check it out. Like I said, sales over on April 30th. So go ahead and hurry over there if you're looking at one of those videos. All right. So I got a couple sales from Traxxas to talk about. And actually, one of them's not a sale. So if you made it this far, I got a little bit of insider info for you. But like I said, if you made it this far, go ahead and like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. I know this is going to come up in RC Weekly episode 7 next week. But the Traxxas Mini Map, that thing is going up in price, so we're going to see a price hike on that vehicle of $20. So right now, if you go to Amian and find that vehicle, you'll see it for $249.99. But May 1st, literally in 2 days, that price is going to go up to $269.99. So just keep that in mind. If you are, looking for a Mini Max or looking to get into that kit, now might actually save you $20 if you go get it right now. After May 1st, $269.99. All right, next thing with Traxxas talk about is the TRX4 Sport High Trail Edition is still on sale. I swear, ever since I started RC Weekly like 6 weeks ago, this truck has been on sale. It's still on sale, $50 off, $299.99. But that's it for Traxxas. The other brands, we got Team Associated. There's the DC10, which I talked about last week, is still on sale for $30 off, but I think that sale ends on April 30th. So if you're looking to get the DC10, now's a good time to do that for the RTR version. There's tons of other Team Associateds. There's a ton of Kyosho products. If you're interested in looking at current sales and seeing what's out there, all the stuff that I didn't cover, you can go to fastrc.net, check out the price tracker dashboard, and on the 4th page, which is called current sales, you can go ahead and scroll through that and you'll see all the active sales that are going on between Amian and Horizon Hobbies. They're all right there in one spot, free for you to look at, and I hope you get something out of it. So that's it for current sales. Let's go ahead and get to Scratch and Dent. All right, welcome to the Scratch and Dent section. If you've made it this far, you're a real one. Okay, so let's talk about Scratch and Dent. This list has literally been cut in half again. So starting off at the top, we have the X-Max 8S, which I'm surprised is actually still there. And it has fallen further in price. Last week it was $1,012. Right now it is sitting at $978.99. So it has definitely dipped in price. Overall, that's an 11% price decrease off the MSRP. Next one to talk about, there's a new vehicle here, and it's the Slash BLS2 two-wheel drive. Coming in at nearly 11% off at $266.99. Great deal there. We have the Red Cat Piranha. I kind of figured this thing would be on Scratch and Dent for a little while, and it's still here, but it's not fallen a ton. I think this has dropped a couple bucks down to $101.99. We have another new vehicle, the Team Associated RC10, the America Custom, coming in at $364.99. And then we have a Red Cat Volcano ep6. So I saw this one last week. This was like a newer Scratch and Dent Red Cat that popped up, $174.99. And then the last one here, we have the MT12 Lux. This is a Team Associated, just popped up on here for $219.99. That'll probably go down over the weeks. We'll see. That's it for Scratch and Dent. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this session of RC Weekly. If you are interested in the Traxxas Mini XRT, I got a video. You can check that out here coming up at the end screen. Otherwise, I will see you on the next week's edition of RC Weekly. Take care.